The Quality Beginning program is a great way to start our school year. It introduces the new year with the students. We really get a chance to get to know our students. The students get a chance to build relationships with their class members, with their teacher. We do lots of sharing and getting to know you activities. So everyone really builds strong relationships in that first week or so of term.
We inform parents that for that first week of school we won't be running a normal curriculum, and we'll just be focusing on all of the values and the bounce back and quality tools.
We look at the school's values of caring, relationships, learning, inclusion, happiness, and we focus on a different value each day of the program.
Well, learning is about you can take your own responsibilities for learning, and you can learn from your own mistakes, so you don't always have to go to the teacher. And you can also help others to learn. Happiness is just, you can't be angry with everyone all the time. You gotta make others feel happy if they're upset. Caring, you can't just not care about people. You gotta, same with happiness, you gotta respect other people. You gotta care, like respect for them. And if they're crying, you just care. You don't just say, oh, he's a sook or something. And relationships, you might not like everyone in every time, everywhere, but you can't just be mean to them, so you can have little relationships with them. And inclusion, just say if someone had no one to play with because someone rejected them, you can ask them to play games or with you, and you can accept them for being different.
So we really examine each value closely, and the students get to have a really strong idea about what they can be doing to live the school's values.
Well, sometimes we go back to them if people forget them and start not doing what they say, and we go back to them, and then they're always in our heads, so we always remember to do them in the yard and stuff.
We set a class mission and vision to really give them guidance throughout the year about what they're working towards. We examine why we come to school, why we need to learn, and that's one activity we use is called the 5 whys, and we go through that process of why we come to school and keep asking the question, come up with some really interesting answers that the kids, why they think they need to come to school. We talk about what is a good learner, what is a good student, what makes a good teacher, what the children's idea of a good teacher is, which helps us to know what the students feel like they need from their teacher.
We talk a lot about, what is a good student, what is a good teacher. And so once those criteria or a benchmark are set, then for the rest of the year we continually reflect on those statements that have been made at the beginning of the year, and particularly the values are not something that's seen as one-off things, they're something that are embedded into our culture and used continually. So it's certainly a program that we've found is empowering students and but really sets up our classroom right from the beginning of the year. We revisit many of the quality tools, and many of the quality tools that are used again are to set up our process and management within the classroom.
We get a focus question, and we did what do we have to do to achieve a happy and learning environment, and then we went with the Lotus diagram and went and did all these things, and we did rubbish free, so like the classroom's all clean and it's a good environment to work in, comfortable environment, that we're not uncomfortable or we're sitting right, and so when we work and it doesn't hurt our hands or anything. Happy relationships, you may not like someone, but you always have to respect them and still be nice to them.
Then we tease out each of those priorities to a greater degree.
We went and teased out one of ours, which was relationships, and we teased it out and kind of talked more about it and why we need relationships, and taking an interest and listening to when other people are standing up in front of the classroom. You have to listen to them and just take interest. You may not like it, but at least look like you're having some interest in it instead of just playing or fiddling. We do the lotus diagrams really so people understand what these meanings are for, like the caring, how you should care after your friends and things, so that other people in the classroom, they know that these are good things to set a good example to other people.
As part of the Quality Beginning program, the classroom teachers get the opportunity to discuss with their students the processes that happen during the day in their classroom. That may be what happens when you first come into the classroom, hanging up your bag, putting your lunch in a certain position, those sorts of things. Also things like packing up and getting your books ready and all of those sorts of processes that are really quite trivial, but if there's not a set process, it can go a bit crazy. So teachers have the opportunity to sit down with the students, come up with a flow chart or just list the process for the day, and then the students have that clearly in their mind and they follow that process each day. So it's really quite helpful for getting all that sort of management issues sorted out early on.
The parking lot's a really powerful way for the students to discuss the issues, the things that have been going well, the things that aren't going so well.
Well, the parking lot has 4 sections on it, which is what is going well, what are the questions, what needs improvement, and what are the ideas for improvement. And normally we would write them up on a piece of paper like we have here, and we would go through what we thought was really well. And one from what's going well was when we do class parties, there's no fighting or complaining, and we do it all of ourselves and the teacher doesn't really need to help us. Sometimes we have to do PDSAs on things what needs improvement. Like we had to do one on bag rooms because people were throwing sandwiches and things in there and fruit and just leaving them.
The parking lots are in the class and the students can go and write their concerns or positives on there at any time, and then when we get to the class meeting, all of the things that are written on the parking lot are addressed at that moment.
We'd have a chairperson and they'd read out all of those and we'd all discuss it. You might have a problem and it's only a small problem to yourself, but then when you put it on a parking lot, we share it with everybody else. And then it becomes discussed and dealt with.
It's a week where the students really get to know each other, they find out about their learning styles.
At the start of the year, we do a program called the Quality Program, where we get to know our fellow classmates. And one of the ways to do that is a learning style graph or a pictograph, where people put on little pictures of what they like to do, like making things and going on the computer. If people like helping people, whenever you need help, it's best to come to them, and also how people work the best. People who write stories, that like writing stories, work the best whilst writing, and also it's about being an individual by we all don't like the same things, like singing. No one really likes singing, and most people like making things.
We look at the Bounce Back program, which again gives the students strategies for dealing with issues they may have with other students or problems that they might have, giving them strategies to become more resilient and to be able to work out their own problems.
And the rules of Bounce Back are: bad times don't last, things always get better, stay optimistic. Other people can help you if you talk to them, get a reality check.
Those types of strategies have really given, right from the junior children up to the senior children, I suppose a tool that they can use by themselves and that they can adapt to all situations. So it's a real benefit in terms of students being able to be empowered.
We make little lists of all the experts in the grade. So there might be somebody who's really good at drawing shapes. So make a list of the people that are good at drawing shapes, or there might be some people who are really good spellers, so we list those people down. When students are doing their work, if they come across a problem, then they can refer to the yellow pages and find the person that's good at that, and they can go and find that person, they can offer them some help and support. So not always having to be the teacher that is the one helping all the time. Students get the opportunity to set goals, which really helps them to work out what's important to them, what they need to focus on in their learning. They may be weaker in maths, and that may be their focus for that term or semester or year. But they might also recognise that they're really good at literacy. So talking about what they're good at, what they need to improve on. And we also set social goals. So they might like to get better at playing football because a lot of their friends play football and they're not so good at it. So setting social goals as well. At the end of each quality beginning, we have a reflection time where staff members are asked to complete a plus delta, one of the quality tools, to tell us how they felt the program went, what was good and what may need improvement the next year.
There's a group of teachers called our quality team that have developed that program, and the program, as we've gone along, has been continually refined. We started with about an 8-day program and we're now running about a 5-day program.
At the end of the school year, the team usually meets a few times. We reflect on that year's program. We might revise and discuss what might need to be changed, and then we start to plan what we want from the next year's program.
You don't want to be doing the same activities each year when you've got students that have been travelling that journey.
We try and make them as different each year as we can to offer teachers and students alternatives. We give the teachers lots of choice about what they can do. They're not given a set list of activities they must follow.
Students can then make a choice with the teacher of what activities would be most suitable.
It's up to them what they want to do. Some people have very different ways of starting the school year, and we like to give them as much choice with that as we can, not restrict them.
Throughout the week we meet with our buddy class, and we're then buddied up with a class for the rest of the year, and it's usually like an upper class with a junior class. And for the rest of the year we then meet and do fun activities obviously related to our curriculum.
We try to suit all levels of the school, so we give everyone an option about what might be suitable for grade 3, 4 or grade 6, as each level has different demands and different needs. Here we have the quality beginning booklet. The front page is the overview, a brief description of what will happen on each day of the week, the program. Second page we move on to the program description, with a description of the activities that teachers can choose from, suggested times of the day that these activities are completed. This is followed by some photocopiable pages that match up with the activities that were listed. Then we move on to the second day of the program, again with the options that the teachers can choose from. We generally meet every day or every second day when the program commences and discuss each day's program with the staff. We again distribute the jobs there that we each present a different area of the day and discuss it with staff if they've got questions, or if there's something that may need demonstrating, if it's a making and creating activity, or if it's a song that people don't know, we often have to sing and let them know how the tune goes.
At the end of the week we always have a celebration period where we go around to the other classrooms and we share the activities that we've done for the week, and just have lots of fun and enjoy having learnt about each other.
And this year we introduced the continuing quality, which we picked up again in term 3 and looked at the values again, revisited those with the students, and really looked at how the classroom was going, what the students could improve on, where they were heading, were they meeting their goals, and even setting new goals.
A real value of the program is that it's not seen as a one-off by the staff, because we've now been travelling that journey for so long. The staff and the students just see it as part of being embedded in our culture of the school, and that our values are part of our everyday living and learning. So the students know that that not only they but the teachers should be living those values all of the time.
The Quality Beginnings program gives students strategies that encourage them to make good choices about behaviour, helps them to develop resilience through the use of our values, our school values, and also Bounce Back has some great strategies for helping children to become more resilient.
It certainly empowers the students to think about their individual goals and where they want to go throughout a year, but it also gives them the opportunity to be involved in the class decision-making processes. And I think that's an area where we really have given the students that power to, instead of the teacher making all of the decisions for the class, it's really given the students that ownership, and it's given them that opportunity to feel like it is their classroom and they're part of that whole process.